Fatima is from the ancient Iraqi city of Najaf, considered the centre of pilgrimage for Shia Muslims, which lies about 160 kilometres south of Baghdad. Her husband Naval, a pharmacist, became one of the so-called boat people into Australia before being granted residency as a genuine refugee. With a master's in biochemistry, Fatima joined her husband several years later. She now works as an Arabic interpreter and a specialist consultant, helping in the resettlement of new arrivals.
We had so many wars, and we describe our generation, we are a wars generation, because myself, I've been in 3 wars with different people. Like we had one with Iran, we had one with Kuwait, we got Saddam itself. It's a big war for Iraq, for all Iraqi people, not just for me. Most of our people, they don't have any future while he was at the system, because you should follow him, you should belong to him to get a good life.
And what did you do in Iraq? You were professional people?
My husband, he's working as a pharmacist. Myself, I was working as a microbiologist, and I was nearly finishing my master's degree before I came here. And then after when I got married and then I came here, I couldn't practice my qualifications. So
the decision to come to Australia, was that a difficult decision for the family?
it's not easy, but in the same time, if you are thinking about your future, your children's future, what's the best for them, you will take it. Because when you decided to leave your culture, your family, your language, it's not easy. You are leaving everything behind and you are starting a new life. You have no idea about it. At the first month, I cried a lot and I told my husband I want to go back to Iraq. But now, and after all these years, I think it's the correct and the best decision I made in my life.
So you didn't have English when you came, or you had a basic English?
Of course, I do have some English when I came actually, because most of my study was in English.
Right.
But it's not the communication one, it's just our medical terminology, science terminology, all these things is not to use it at the street.
And did you settle in Shepparton to begin with?
Yes,
so you came to Shepparton.
I came to Shepparton straight away, and until now I'm in Shepparton. And when I'm walking in the street or the supermarket, everybody say hello to me from different background, and I feel it's my home now. I'm not really able to change it. If you ask me to go anywhere, I prefer to stay here. I'm working as a case worker, and actually my job is supporting new arrival people. So I am dealing with people from different backgrounds. So I know most of them. So that's why I told you when I'm going outside, everybody say hello, because I know most of them. And I believe it's really very rich area with the culture, different cultures.
Have you found that there's been any pushback to you because of your culture and your race?
Yes, I did face some until now. Go back to your country, terrorists, a lot of these words. Yes, still we can hear it, but it doesn't stop us from having normal life and doing normal things. And yeah, and my daughter, she's going to the Catholic school, which it's nothing seriously, but as I said, somewhere too there, you can hear it from outside, which is, we can't make everyone happy.
From the time you arrived here to now, have you noticed a change in how people treat and look at people from other cultures?
Well, it's a lot of changing. And honestly, at the beginning when I came, I faced a lot of questions from people like, why you are wearing a scarf? Are you feeling hot? Are you wearing at home? Do you have hair? All these questions. While now, I think it's more understanding. I think people, they are more educated about different religions or different cultures now.
So Nooran is at the Catholic school here?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel? Do you feel Australian, or do you feel Iraqi, or do you feel you're both?
I feel like I'm both, because when people ask me what's my first language, I say Arabic and English, because I was born here. I grew up with both. I learned both at the same time, and I just got used to being both at this point. And I'm also learning how to read and write Japanese.
Do you feel that there's been any change in the way people look at you?
I feel like some people will always look at you in a weird way. There's always that small group of people who won't grow up or realise there's a difference in the world. But most people are very accepting of it. They realise there's different cultures, different religions in the world. They accept it.
So is that just because of the way you dress, or is it the way you look? What is it, do you think?
I think it's mostly just the scarf, honestly. That's like the main difference. Most people automatically assume I'm not from here. Maybe I don't speak English. Maybe I don't know anything about Australia, but I was born here. Like, I know what's going on.
So does that surprise people when they hear you've got a broad Australian accent?
They are surprised sometimes. I've had some people ask me some pretty strange questions, and it's really funny to always see their reactions when they realise I was born here.
How important has education been to you in terms of coming to a new country?
It's the most important in our life, the education. It's because I think I grew up in a big family and I am one of 8. And all my family, all my brothers and sisters been graduated from university, doctors, engineering and teachers. And by the way, my mom is illiterate as well as my father. My father, maybe he just finished, I think, grade 5. And my kids, they know that I'm very flexible mom, but not with the education. They know that, not with the school.
And is that the future for them, do you think?
Always I'm saying, your qualification is your weapon in this life. Always I'm telling my children as well as my girls, which is, I believe education is very, very important in the mom life, because in the girl's life, because she will be a mom and she will educate a generation. So that's why I believe it's really very important.
So for the next 10 years, looking forward, how do you see multiculturalism in Australia?
Well, I think we will have really bright future. When I decided to leave my home, when I decided to leave my family behind me, it's not to have fun, not just because I am looking for a new area. I am looking for a safe environment. I am looking for safe environment for my kids, not about myself. And I think people, they are getting more understanding, and I believe it will be really very good to future. And especially as you talked with my daughter, her friends, they are getting more understanding why she's here, why her family, they decided to come to Australia.
Do you think it's easier for children to accommodate each other than it is perhaps for people with set views on life? And
Definitely, because I feel like they're more accepting of things. They have more of an open mind because they're younger. They accept things more. They don't really judge as much as adults with a full view of the world and all that type of stuff.
do you think the future, it looks good for you as someone from another part of the world?
I feel like people are constantly growing. The world's constantly growing. Australia's constantly growing. I think my future is pretty bright, and I'm pretty happy with it, how it is now.
Is there something you would like to see change in Australia?
It doesn't matter what you are wearing. It doesn't matter what your skin color look like. It doesn't matter what language you are. As much as you are able to provide help or to support this community, do it.